Okay, so if you scan this QR code in the top right, that will take you to the relevant iMaths question. If you want to see my working out as it's finished, go to the bottom left, this Jamboard, and it's read only, so other people might watch the video and you can't edit it, but you can obviously look at it. So when we have a fraction in an equation, we're trying to solve it, in a simple thing like this, all we need to do to get rid of divide by 2, we times both sides by 2. Equations are all about balancing. You have to do the same to the left and the right. The whole reason for timesing by 2 was to get rid of 2, get rid of divide by 2, so end up with that. Okay, and then to finish that, well, we've got plus 2 on the left. I want to get x on this line, so I'm minus 2 on both sides. Minus 2. X equals 12. Good thing to do. I'm using a different color here. I check this. I substitute in 12. So 12 plus 2 over 2. Well, that's equal to 14 over 2, which is equal to 7. So we know that this is correct. Same here, except this time it's divide by 9, so we times by 9. The difference here on the right hand side, I now have 2 terms and they're both multiplied by 9, so it's a good idea to write it with brackets. This next step, I'm just removing the brackets on the right hand side. Don't forget that it's 9 times 6, not just 6 on its own, which is going to be 54. And I'll go through and solve this. 9x and x, my tip is move the smaller x, and this is 1x, that's 9x, so we're going to move 1x. So take away x from both sides. And the reason I do that is that then I end up with a positive value of x. What I'm going to do here, well, decided the x is going to stay on this side, take away 54 from both sides. Don't forget it's minus 48. I'm going to go up here. And I need to divide both sides by 8 because I don't want 8x, I want a single x. When I evaluate that, it's important you see I get minus 6 because it's a negative value. Okay, this one, the denominator, the fraction here, has x in it. We've got x on just one side. We're going to soon have x's on both sides. First priority is to get rid of fractions. So I'm going to times everything by 2x plus 1. Now there's only one term on the right hand side, but I'm multiplying by 2 terms. So we need brackets. So 2x plus 1. I'm removing the brackets on the right hand side. Gives me minus 6x minus 3. Well, I've got x and minus 6x. Minus 6x is smaller, so to get rid of minus 6x, that's what I'm going to move. Plus 6x to both sides. So we've already got x plus 6x gives me 7x minus 3 is equal to minus 3. Okay, well, I need to get rid of the minus 3 on the left, so I add 3, and I get minus 3 plus 3, which is equal to 0. Now, sometimes the answer is 0, so we've got 0 minus 3, 2 times 0 is 0, so 0 plus 1, and that's equal to minus 3 over 1. Our answer is minus 3. I just stopped there, by the way. 7x is equal to 0. Well, if 7x equals 0, then x is also going to be equal to 0. Okay, ignore that repeated question. This one here, we've got fractions on both sides. I'm going to show you different ways to do this. So I'm going to times by 2 on both sides to get rid of divide by 2. Now in this one here, on the right hand side, we can actually simplify, because 2 over 6 simplifies to 1 over 3. And multiplying by 1 is not needed, so I don't really need to write that 1. But anyway, now I have to get rid of divide by 3. So I multiply both sides by 3. Remember, in the brackets. Removing the brackets, 3x plus 9 is equal to x minus 5. Move around here. X and 3x, x is smaller, so I'm going to take x to the left hand side. It means plus x, take away x, plus 9, so I'm left with minus 5. How do I get rid of plus 9? Well, we take away 9, that's going to give minus 14, so x equals minus 7. My check here, so I've got minus 7 plus 3 over 2, I'll do the left hand side. Minus 7 plus 3 is going to be minus 4. Minus 4 over 2 gives me minus 2. So this left hand side equals minus 2. Right hand side, minus 7 minus 5 over 6. Well, that gives me minus 12 over 6, which also equals minus 2. So left and right both equal minus 2. Therefore, that is correct. Second way to do this one is I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to erase everything I've just written so I can do it in a different way. I can do this in one step because I can divide by, instead of dividing by 2, getting rid of the 2 and 6. If I times by 6, because 2 is a multiple, 2 is a factor of 6, then I can get rid of it that way as well. So I'm just erasing this. You should see I'll get the same answer. The advantage of this way is that I only have to deal with one fraction, it deals with both at the same time. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this divide by 6 first, by timesing by 6. So I get 6. The reason the brackets are there because it's multiplied by everything on the top over 2. It's disappeared from the right hand side, so I don't have to deal with that. And you got one fraction. And 6 divided by 2, well, that simplifies to 3. So I've got 3x plus 3 is equal to x minus 5. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 3 is 9. And then I can solve. I'm not going to do that because we actually got to that stage 3x plus 9 is equal to x minus 5 on the previous slide, and you can solve from there. But that's a different way to get there. So because 6 is a multiple of 2, or 2 is a factor of 6, you can, if that's the case, then you can just multiply by one of them, and you don't have to do that twice. So this one here, I could times by 2, then times by 4. But if I times by 4, it gets rid of both of the problems, both of the fractions, the denominators straight away. So times everything by 4, and that means left and right of the equals sign. So because I've got two terms there, I'm going to put them in brackets, which I'm going to remove in the next step. And the whole point of timesing by 4 was to get rid of that fraction. It's important, remember, to multiply the minus 23 by 4 as well. Now, on the left hand side, you can see I've got the whole thing times by 4 and also divided by 2. So if I cancel that out, 4 divided by 2 is 2. So I can replace that 4 with a 2 and it's no longer a fraction. On the next line, I'm going to expand the brackets. So 2 times 4x and 2 times minus 9. So that gives me 8x minus 18 plus 6x minus 4. Still equal to minus 92. In this example, all the x's are already on the left hand side. So I'm going to combine my like terms. So I'm going to combine 8x and 6x, gives me 14x. Minus 18 minus 4 gives me minus 22. Still equal to minus 92. How do I get rid of minus 22? I add 22. Well, it's minus 92 degrees, very cold, and it gets 22 degrees warmer. It's still very cold, minus 70. So x is equal to minus 70 over 14. And if you evaluate that, you get minus 5. You could substitute that into both sides to check that it's correct. So 4 times minus 5 is minus 20. Minus 9 over 2. Plus 6 times minus 5 is minus 30. Minus 4 over 4. You could put that in your calculator and check that it's equal to minus 23. So here, the denominators are the same, 2 and 4 again. So if I multiply everything by 4, then I get 4 5x minus 9 over 2 plus 3x plus 9. Double 14 is 28, double it again is 56. And once again, this is just going to cancel down to 2. So 2 times 5x gives me 10x. It's also got minus 18 as well. 2 times minus 9 is minus 18. 3x plus 9 is still equal to 56. This time I'll collect my like terms. So I've got 13x. I've got minus 18 plus 9. That's going to give me minus 9 is 56. Sides, (13x) is equal to 65. Divide both sides by 65. And you get that x is equal to 5. And I'm just checking that. You can check by substituting in, but I can tell you that that is the answer. X is equal to 5. Okay, now this one, the denominator has an x in it, and one is a multiple of the other. You can see that x plus 5, if you multiply x by 2 and 5 by 2, you get 2x plus 10. So what we could do here is we can multiply everything by 2x plus 10. That way we only have to do that multiplication once. Okay, so we've got 6 on the top, and we multiply by a fraction. It only goes on the top, not on the top and the bottom. So 2x plus 10 over x plus 5 is equal to 5. Sorry, plus 5, and that's equal to 13 times by 2x plus 10. Okay. Now, if we think about here, we've got 2x plus 10 over x plus 5. Now, we can take 2 and we get that. So we factorize the top, and the x plus 5's cancel. So this and this cancel. So it actually only just gives me 12 plus 5. And the x is all on the right hand side. 13 times 2x is 26x. 13 times 10, 130. So the x is on the right, I'm going to leave it there. 12 plus 15 is 17. I'm also going to take away 130 at the same time. So you're going to get minus 113 is equal to 26x. Therefore x, and you're going to need your calculator for this, is going to be equal to minus 113 over 26. That gives a non-integer answer. That gives x is equal to minus 4.34615. Keeps on going. So for the answer there, round it to 3 significant figures, x is equal to 4.35. If you put your rounded answer in to check it, it's not going to give you exactly 13, it should give you close to 13. And the last one, well, you can see here that 7x minus 49 is a factor of that because everything is just times by 7. Now that helps because I can multiply by that and you'll get rid of both fractions. So I'm going to multiply everything by 7x minus 49. So I've already got 2 there. It's going to give me x minus 49. And I've still got x minus 7. It gets rid of the denominator underneath 5, so 5 is no longer part of a fraction. It is a fraction in a way, it's a numerator and the denominator is 1. And 16 is also multiplied by 7x minus 49. Okay, now, like I did before, if you think of 7, you can multiply that 7x, you can factorize 7x minus 49 into 7 bracket x minus 7, and x minus 7 stays as that. You're timesing by that, and then you're dividing by that, so they cancel each other out, and you're all left with is 7. 2 times 7 is 14, minus 5. Actually, I'm going to evaluate that, so I'm running out of space. 14 minus 5 is equal to 9. On the right hand side, expand the brackets. So just checking out on the calculator. 16 times 7x is going to give me 112x. 16 times 49, also using the calculator for that, is minus 784. Just because the numbers are bigger, the same principle still applies. I need to get rid of minus 784, so I do that by adding 784. So 9 plus 784 is going to be 793 is equal to 112x. So to solve this, in this case I'm just going to leave it as a fraction. You can evaluate it if you need to. X is equal to 793 over 112. When you evaluate that, write it down to 3 significant figures.